For the second video of BT19 cards that will be going into Special Booster 2.5, it's going to be all Blueflare cards and those two pesky Luminamon cards that didn't make it into Special Booster 2.0. As always, if you enjoy these types of videos, do consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that notification bell for more future content. For the first card on this list, it's going to be gaossmon, a new variant with an on-play and on-deletion effect that allows you to place one Blueflare trait card from your hand under your Tamers to draw one. If you can open up Rookie and Blazing Memory Boost, the following turn can be really nice, especially if you added the two Blueflare cards and simultaneously played a Kiriha Aonuma. For the next card in the Blueflare team, it's Blue-Black Greymon. Though this Digimon can digivolve from a blue or black level 3, its main purpose is for digi-crossing. This Digimon has Rush, meaning if you have a way to say, Kaiser nail this out and still retain turn, that's another attack right there. On deletion, if you have one or less Tamers, you may play one Kiriha Aonuma from your hand without paying the cost, then save. This is kind of spicy, though this is vulnerable to Blast Digivolution on so many levels. The inheritable is just Reboot. With Mailbirdramon, this Digimon has Blocker, not to mention Inheritable Blocker, and an on-deletion effect that you may place one Digimon card with the Blueflare trait from your trash under any of your Tamers, then save. Twice the recovery, pretty legit. The newest MetalGreymon is a blue-black Digimon that has Material Save 2, saving the Blue Greymon and Mailbirdramon. Whoops! Sorry, Security +1 Greymon. On play, this Digimon gains Rush for the turn. Also when attacking, de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Then this Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card, with the Blueflare trait from under any of your Tamers without paying the cost. Considering you could tuck any number of zeiggreymons or even darkknightmon, but you could be unsuspending and then gaining 2 or more memory. The best part? The inheritable of this MetalGreymon will kick in. Because end of attack, once per turn you may play one level 4 or lower Digimon card with Blueflare and its traits from under any of your Tamers without paying the cost. Remember Rush Greymon? Here's the advantage. As for the inheritable, a simple all turns plus 2000 DP. Jumping to Kiriha Aonuma, start of your main phase by placing one Digimon card with Blueflare or a Cross Heart trait from your hand under any of your Tamers, you gain 1 memory. All turns when any of your Blueflare trait Digimon with Digicross requirements would be played. By suspending this Tamer, you may place cards from under your Tamers for that card's Digicross. Comparatively, the first BT10 Kiriha was a memory fixer, and lets you Digicross with cards from underneath your Tamers for the Digicross. And of course the BT11 Triple Tamer is arguably one of the best ones. The problem is, there's no special ruling that lets you treat it as just Kiriha Aonuma, which means it wouldn't be played via any of the card effects. The last dual Tamer of course, allowing you to use cards from under a Tamer and trash for the Digicross. And while there's no card draw, I feel the BT19 variant is one of the stronger ones, along with the memory fixer. In regards to the last 3 cards, yes, 3, not 2 cards, for this video, it's going to be Shademon, Luminamon, and Luminamon Nene version. Shademon was one of the cards that I thought would make it into Special Booster 2.0, due to how useful it could be in Millenniummon decks. But unfortunately for that last uncommon in the set, that went to that special signed Guilmon. This Digimon has an on-play effect which reveals the top 3 cards of the deck, adds one with the Twilight or Composite trait to hand, and then trashes the rest. On deletion, you may play one Nene Amano from your trash without paying the cost, then save. Very useful for filling the trash or even setting up for the Nene play. Bounce is pretty much the only way to circumvent this type of effect. Luminamon is a simple play cost 5 Digimon that digivolves from Shademon for a cost of 2. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of the deck. Add one card with Crossheart, Blueflare, or Twilight among them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. Then you may play one Tamer with a play cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying the cost. And on deletion, save. In looking at lists on DigimonMeta.com, I could not find a list that utilized this card. And while it does have Crossheart in its traits, not even Crossheart decks utilized it. Which already tells me that the last secret rare for Special Booster 2.5 being Luminamon Nene version is probably going to be super cheap. This level 5 Digimon digivolves from any color level 4 Digimon for 4 memory. It can also digivolve from Luminamon for a cost of 2, or Nene Amano with shademon under it for a cost of 3. On play and when digivolving, choose one other Digimon. By playing one level 4 or lower Digimon card from its Digivolution cards without paying the cost, delete the chosen Digimon. On deletion, you may play one Digimon card with a play cost of 5 or less from under any of your Tamers without paying the cost. This effect makes it so that you must play at a level 4 from under a Digimon in order to delete the chosen Digimon. But overall, this card feels very weak to me and serves no other purpose for any deck, even looking at the standings of decks on DigimonMeta.com. So with very short coverage for cards for BT19 covering Crossheart and Blueflare, what's a deck look like when it comes to Blueflare? Arguably, there are quite a number of changes that can be made. With regards to making a deck out of these cards, the real winners overall for the deck are going to be the new Greymon, mailbirdramon, MetalGreymon, zeiggreymon, and Kiriha Aonuma. Again, this deck takes bits and pieces of other decks that have topped currently in Japan, but because the formats are best of one, there's no real way to really compare how a deck really does in the English meta until it really happens. To that end, let's dive right into this deck profile that I currently propose for players just getting into the game. The ultimate level 2 for this deck is going to be Wanyamon. Because you run so many blue Tamers, getting the effect to proc is pretty simple. In regards to the level 3s, you gotta run the gaossmon for this deck. Though to be fair, I feel like you could also drop one of the BT10 gaossmons for the original promo Ukomon as well. Because why not? Ukomon is a great level 3 filler, especially since none of your level 3s can be used for digi-crossing. With the slew of Greymons and mailbirdramons in the level 4 category, you really don't need Decadramon anymore for anything. At the same time, each level 4 serves a specific function. BT10 Greymon adds searching on another level, even with gaossmon and Ukomon. Mailbirdramon lets you play that Kiriha Aonuma for free if you don't have one in play, or return that MetalGreymon from trash to hand. EX4 mailbirdramon has that pseudo ice wall effect, and jamming inheritable. But the likes of the newer ones provide inheritable reboot and blocker, along with either playing Kiriha Aonuma if you have one or less Tamers, and recycling Blueflare cards from trash under a Tamer. Needless to say, with all of the new support cards, you have 9 ways to play out Kiriha Aonuma. 2 if you don't have one in play, 3 if you have one or less Tamers, and 4 that literally plays it regardless. In regards to MetalGreymon, the new BT19 one is really nice. It can cause a lot of disruption with potential Blast Digivolution plays, and can also climb up further to do further de-digivolving or unsuspending. Shoutmon DX could also be potential removal here as well. But the rest of the deck seems very typical of a Blueflare deck, and looks at aggro and rushing down your opponent before they can get their game plan on. The big thing here is that Bandai definitely learned their lesson with MetalGreymon, because the newer one requires explicitly a blue Greymon, meaning no more security tech +1 shenanigans. Do I think Blueflare will be one of the meta contenders? Not by any means. Blueflare has and always will be a dark horse deck, because it always seems to appear out of nowhere in the competitive scene, while the rest of the meta is flooded with Royal Knight fanatics of Omnimon, Jesmon, and Alphamon. What are your thoughts on the support cards for Blueflare? And where are we headed? We're going back to the beginning with Digimon Tamers. This is DIGI-PANDA, locking out.